Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1386, 1386. It's Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Café Anyway, located somewhere here in Podcastro Valley, Mont. Yesterday we were at Podcastro Valley 10, and I got the show out late. I always get it out late on Sundays due to all the stuff I got to do in the morning. Then the regular show comes out early in the morning, weekdays, so you can check out the last show.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It's called Lettuce, because we discuss lettuce. That is at
Mike's Daily Podcast.com.
And today we talk to Chely Shoehart and Floyd the Floorman and John Deere the engineer. And you can call me a totally nuts man, but that's okay because at least I'm clear about one thing, and that is Chris Martin is a god.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
No, I was thinking about that song that's really popular right now. I want something just like this. That
Mike's,
if it wasn't for the Chainsmokers, who he does the song with,
podcast,
there would be no song there, would there?
Yeah!
Because Chris Martin's version of that song would have been, I want something just like this, and he'd play a little piano, and he'd go, do-do-do-do-do-do, whereas the Chainsmokers come in with that, and that makes it the song. That's why everyone likes that song. Oh wait, you don't like it? Look who walked in.
Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. That song's all right.
What do you think about the new Ed Sheeran song, the Castle on the Hill one?
Yeah, that's been out a while, Mike Matthews.
I love it when people say that to me. That's what music people do. I like that new song. Oh, that song's been out for 3 years. Shut up! It's new to me. Look who else walked in. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman! And this is John Deere, the engineer. Did you just tell Chely Shoehart to shut up? I was making a hypothetical situation, Chely.
That's okay, Mike Matthews. I like how you were talking about millennials. The scariest people on the planet, millennials, last show, and how you were saying they only like authenticity. And then you have these character voices on your show. That's not very authentic.
The characters are authentic. They're real in my head. That's right, Mike. We're real people. It's in fact a truth. In fact.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Truism. That we're real. That's right. The podcast picture today is of me because this show is about me and it always has been. Oh man, I don't have any of my sound effects up.
Very funny.
This show is about me, and it always has been.
And I was at the wonderful Bay Farm Island. I talk about Bay Farm Isle? No, yeah. Harbor Bay Isle, Bay Farm Island. Across the San Leandro Bay from Alameda. And there I was walking. There's all these cool houses, and they got this disgusting tidal pool that the houses are sitting on. And we walked there, the wonderful Basil the Boxer and I, on Saturday. And it was a fun time. We walked until the sun went down. And we ran into a couple of interesting people. One couple had also a boxer. And they saw how calm. Basil's a really calm boxer. Just the mellowest guy. And they have this boxer that's 3, and it's jumping around, bouncing off the walls. It's going crazy. And she goes, the lady said, how long till our dog is like your dog? Like your dog is 9, our dog is 3. How old, what's the age that the dog finally calms down? And I said, well, Basil was pretty calm at around 3 years old, so I think you probably need to walk your dog a little more. That's my suggestion. And our little part of today, the segment,
The Word of Dog.
well, you know, people, they have their thing. And I was talking to my friend Katie, who has a dog named Mally, and her roommate just got a dog. And Katie was talking about a roommate and saying that her roommate was a helicopter parent. Just keeping an eye on her dog all the time, keeping it on a leash, worried about the dog. And at some point, you have to have trust in your dog. At some point, you have to go through an obedience school and see what your dog, you know, that you got some commands down with your dog. And enough about dogs. But I did want to talk really quickly about the website, mikesdailypodcast.com. Go there. You can see all the past podcast pictures. You can comment. You can click on the Amazon link and help us out by clicking on that and doing your shopping through mikesdailypodcast.com. But you first hit the Amazon thing. Then it takes you to Amazon. Then you can shop. Very simple. There's also the PayPal if you'd like to donate and become an inglorious Mike's Daily podcaster, and you'll get a special greeting from all the Café Anyway characters. All that at mikesdailypodcast.com. Now we're going to get to this wonderful segment because we have all this fascinating material to get to. It's the Fascinating Material Project.
The Fascinating Material Project. FM Project.
Well, we have first off the Google Doodle today, which I usually blow right past the Google Doodle. Whoever looks at the Google Doodle anymore, but it was somewhat interesting. Eva Ekeblad, a Swedish salonist. She lived from 1724 to 1786, and she was a noble. She was a countess, as well as an ergonomist and a scientist. She was widely known for discovering a method to make flour and alcohol from potatoes. This was back in 1746. She was able to make flour out of potatoes, and that left other more scarce grains to food production, significantly reducing Sweden's incidence of famine. The discovery was featured as a Google Doodle on her birthday today. It says here in Wikipedia, which I am telling you about. She was the first female member of the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences. And she also made alcohol out of potatoes, which completely is responsible for the television show Dukes of Hazzard. Because they was making with the hot white lightning up in the mountains. A joint Russian-U.S. working group on cybersecurity proposed by Vladimir Putin over the weekend in a discussion with Donald Trump in Hamburg. And please do not make the hamburger jokes about Hamburg. The guy that I produced the morning show made that stupid joke. And I would like to tell you that Hamburgers, the people that live in Hamburg, they do not like that at all. They think it's a stupid, stupid American joke, and you're a stupid, stupid American if you say that. So just FYI, as I learned when I went to visit my wonderful cousin in Hamburg, who says the thing at the beginning of the show, Mike's Daily Podcast, my wonderful cousin. But it is unlikely, and she's not visiting me this year, by the way, with her boyfriend. So that's sad. She's off to somewhere else, but I need to go there and visit her soon. So this joint Russian-U.S. working group on cybersecurity is unlikely to be launched anytime soon, a Russian official said today. Svetlana Lukash, a Russian official at the G20 summit held in Germany last week, said, President Putin proposed forming a working group. This does not mean that it should start working immediately or virtually tomorrow. Trump on Sunday backtracked on the suggestion for a cybersecurity unit with Russia, tweeting that he did not think it could happen. This happened hours after it was criticized by Republicans who said Moscow could not be trusted. And Marco Rubio said something. What did he say? He said the teaming up with the Russians on cybersecurity would be like teaming up with the Syrians on making chemicals for warfare or something like that. President Trump's eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., was promised damaging information about Hillary Clinton before agreeing to meet with a Kremlin-connected Russian lawyer during the 2016 campaign, according to 3 advisors to the White House briefed on the meeting and 2 others with knowledge of it. This according to the New York Times, or what Trump supporters call fake news. The meeting was also attended by his campaign chairman at the time,
I know what's good and bad.
Paul Manafort, and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Manafort and Kushner only recently disclosed the meeting, though not its content, in confidential government documents described to the New York Times.
Should I sign it?
Sign what? Why are you asking this?
We're moving things along, and we're moving them along fast.
I don't know why you're talking.
We had to make the move, and we decided to make the move.
I don't know why you're talking.
Nobody ever told me that politics was going to be so much fun.
Ah, Trump has taken over the show. No! That's it for that. No more sound effects. Okay, Mike, no more sound effects. You don't need to order me around, Mike. Sorry, Mike. A Republican lawyer pushing the allegation that Bernie Sanders' wife committed bank fraud to win a loan while president of the now-defunct Vermont College has a long history of filing complaints, this Republican lawyer, against left-of-center politicians in the state. The complaints and public records requests filed by Brady Tonsig date to 2004 when he sought expense documents from a Vermont auditor of accounts to a 2015 complaint that the state's former Democratic Attorney General had committed campaign finance violations. Then he went after his biggest target to date, alleging the 2016 campaign that Jane Sanders committed bank fraud while arranging a $10 million financing deal for Burlington College. I love their coats. Tonsing, who is 49, hey, we're around the same age, lives in the Vermont community of Charlotte, is a partner in the Washington law firm DeGeneva and Tonsing, which was founded by his mother and stepfather, two high-profile former federal prosecutors, once called by the Washington Post a classic Washington power couple. So this son of theirs is a powerful person with all this law genetics channeled into him. But all of his efforts have been focused on Democrats or members of the state's Progressive Party. Speaking of Republicans, the initial GOP bill to repeal and replace the nation's health law is probably dead. And Donald Trump's proposal to just repeal it appears to be a non-starter, say two moderate Republican senators. They said this yesterday. We don't know what the plan is, said Bill Cassidy, a Republican of Louisiana. Clearly, the draft plan is dead. Is the serious rewrite plan dead? I don't know. And then John McCain said, it may now be time for Republicans to come up with a new proposal with support from Democrats. I think in my view, is it's probably going to be dead, said McCain of the GOP bill. And I was trying to get to this story yesterday, but my frickin' computer was crashing at the other location I was recording at. He said it doesn't mean they control it. It means they have amendments considered, and even when they lose, then they're part of the process. That's what democracy is supposed to be all about, he said. Then finally, the quest for better batteries may be the ultimate technology industry arms race as phones, cars, and other power-hungry devices proliferate in our lives. But researchers at the University of Washington have upended that equation, making what they say is the first cellular call from a mobile phone with no battery at all. The prototype phone, built with off-the-shelf components, runs on a combination of wireless power and tiny solar chargers. It's bare bones. The phone can send and receive voice signals, drive a pair of headphones, and not much else. It has neither screen nor memory. Once you connect the call using the device, you have to push a button to talk. Sounds like you also need a couple of coffee cans and a fishing line. That was a joke for you people that are really old. I hope you liked it. The phone must rely on a nearby base station that relays its signal to the cellular network. In this case, they used Skype. The base station provides the bulk of the phone's operational power, with the phone harvests from radio signals. I'd like to tell you a couple things about this real quick, and that is, this makes sense to me. There are all kinds of ways you don't even have to use a phone network. I mean, Skype can be on your cell phone. on your smartphone now. You can use Skype to talk to people. You can use Google Phone to talk to people. There's all kinds of ways to talk to people without actually even having a phone plan. It gets dicey when you can't access your the cellular phone towers, of course. But then there's the issue of time travel, and we've all had this discussion where when we're traveling through time, do we in fact stay in one place, or what am I talking about now? I don't know. But the show is unraveling.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's all kinds of ways to do things when you've got all these wonderful apps to access on your smartphone, is what I'm saying. Okay. This article from Fortune says, in short, don't expect to play endless games of Candy Crush on this device anytime soon. That makes sense. Next show, it's going to be Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today, and I hope we can get together again real soon and maybe discuss some Coldplay, maybe discuss some, I don't know, Russian hacking, Bernie Sanders' wife, and Eva Ekeblad. That would be fun. Oh, hey, and that was what I got a little distracted with my little time travel comment. If I may travel back in time to that topic about the people creating a cell phone that didn't use a battery, there is ways, people are using ways to get around conventional means of phones and such. At my job on the weekend, it's a radio station, but all the phone lines, and it's a 3 radio station cluster that goes from Pleasanton all the way up to Vacaville, and they're separated by about an hour drive, if maybe, especially with traffic. And what the engineer for this radio station has done is he got so mad at AT&T, he said, you know what, we don't even need them, screw it. And he created a phone system using microwaves. So we actually call each other back and forth from Pleasanton to Vacaville using microwaves, and we don't even use AT&T at all. He got so mad at him, and he was telling me how other radio station engineers were like, well, you gotta use AT&T, you know, sometimes they go down, but they always fix it. And he's like, no, they don't. And that's true, because the other radio stations I work for, we've had endless issues with AT&T. So way to go, kudos, and kudos to you for thinking around certain problems. That's what makes us Americans. Such a patriotic moment.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!